This month, Leo, you may be both triggered and so supported. And the earlier your birthday, the more intense this experience may be. Now, I am Nadia, the astrologer for people who do not necessarily believe in astrology, but who love hearing their monthly horoscopes. And this is the forecast for August for you, Leo. And let me show you the cat that I have here, because Leo is a cat. Well, I will start with a bitter pill that may turn out to be effective medicine or not. On the 31st of July, Venus entered the sign of Cancer. And maybe you remember this from previous forecasts. Everything that enters Cancer is a little bit cut off from the demands or plans of your ego. So if your ego wants to be recognized as a person who is attractive and popular, and this is something that a healthy ego would want to ask from Venus, Venus in Cancer is unlikely to deliver. Good news for your ego is that on the 25th, Venus will be in your own sign, but let's stay with Venus in Cancer for a while. It's not useless. Where it can be helpful is the inner soul work that you do in private, an internal exploration of Venusian topics, irrespective of the impression you want to make. What do love and beauty do for your soul? Another, even more powerful planet than Venus is also hanging out in Cancer right now. It's Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, abundance, and optimism. This one is also unavailable for your ego, but can be available for your soul. On the 11th of August, these two, Venus and Jupiter, will join forces. And it would be amazing if on the days surrounding this event, you'd be able to carve out some time in your life to take care of your soul in a positive, attentive, loving, caring way. It's okay if what the events of your life, what the circumstances of your life are is one thing, but what your soul needs is something else. It doesn't mean that you have to uproot your life and create new problems for yourself. But Venus and Jupiter working together may help you see that even if the longings of your soul are incompatible for now with what you really need to do at this stage of life, they are not irrelevant. Simply acknowledging them is already a pretty big deal. Now, Mars will change signs on the 7th, entering Libra. This is actually great for you because Libra rules your area of thinking, learning, communication, and self-expression. And Mars here may lend you some strength that you need to be more assertive and convincing when speaking your mind. It's still Mars in Libra, the sign of diplomacy and fairness, so you won't be too much, or more like you will still be able to mind the other person's perspective. But if some questions need to be raised, or if some conclusions are just asking to be reached, you will get there. And yes, in the very beginning of the transit on the 7th, 8th, 9th, maybe 10th, following the formal rules, even if they are not formally defined, may be necessary to maybe stay in the room, in the conversation. But after that, after the 10th, your thinking and talking is more centered and intentional and confident. The full moon in Aquarius on the 9th of August will shed light on what is going on in the important relationships of your life. Could be your romantic partnership, friendship, creative collaboration, or a feud. The relationship doesn't have to be good to be considered important. It may also be a little more clear which ones of the new people in your life who are now still in the periphery of your social circle are interesting and promising enough to be let in. Finally, on the 11th of August, Mercury in your sign that has been retrograde since the 18th of July will station direct. It must have brought up some questions or issues to clear up, or better I'll say it this way. before the retrograde ends, so before the 11th, it's totally worth it to look back at the things you may have left behind without giving them proper attention. Rethink, reconsider, re-examine. Do not be afraid to correct your mistakes. It makes you a smarter person and eventually a more successful person. It's best that you do all of this, not super pleasant re-examining and correcting and maybe also more bureaucratic something before Mercury's station, so that after the 11th you'd be able to use this new information, new documents maybe, etc., to move forward and to be more secure in what you truly know and have. Now to the part where you are both triggered and supported. This has to do with a combination of slow-moving planets that have all recently entered new signs and are now this August all forming nice, harmonious and very helpful aspects to each other. I talked way more about this combination in my video on why the astrology of 2025-2026 is so amazing. But in short, it's Neptune and Saturn in Aries, Uranus in Gemini, and Pluto in Aquarius. And the triggering one for you, Leo, is Pluto. It's now working with your area of important relationships, the ones that the full moon in Aquarius on the 9th is also dealing with. But its effect is more slow and deep and a bit, I don't want to say sinister, it's actually beneficial, but illusion wrecking. So if you were harboring any naive ideas about what the relationships in your life are supposed to be and feel like, Pluto is here to expose them for what they are, which is illusions. Now, if a relationship has power and truth and life and some realness behind it, Pluto will only support and deepen it. But there inevitably has to be some soul searching in this area, some disappointments as well. Anyway, every other slow planet is at the very same time giving you opportunities and resources and support. Neptune and Saturn in Aries in the area of wisdom, education, international affairs, and let's say media or culture. There you need to take on something slow and meaningful. So maybe think about getting a degree or integrating into a new society or culture, or start something educational or some serious media project. It's supposed to be difficult, but it will allow your ego that Pluto in Aquarius is trying to rattle to get something to lean on to, something reliable and meaningful. So supportive. Uranus in Gemini is your new crowd, people who did not belong to your circle previously, but who are now becoming more relevant and exciting. They are also a source of support and life force. So this combination of planets will be active all throughout August and a little bit in September as well. And even if you won't be able to make full use of it then, it will return and be super prominent in 2026. Now, new moon in Virgo on 23rd of August will energize your area of personal finance. It's how you earn, spend, and manage your property. You may get some fresh ideas there, so do not rush it with making financial plans before the 23rd. And pay attention to the new ideas or information that you get on the 23rd or around it. It may be, well, informative, important. And now, finally, to Venus entering your sign. It happens on the 25th, and she is there to reward you for your patience and attention to serious stuff, and maybe also some soul work that you managed to do. At first, she may gently amplify the message of the 4 slow-moving planets that I talked about before, that with not being naive in relationships, but serious about wisdom and meaning and open to new connections. That will become less pressing around the 28th, after which Venus will only be there to help you shine and enjoy and charm.